Logical morning, everyone. Welcome to Vidhigya presents the Hindu newspaper analysis. Today's session will have following segments. First, overview of today's newspaper. Second, must-know topics and explanation. Third, quiz time with 5 important questions. So the first important topic is do not spread things to a larger level SC observes on hijab rule. This you have to read yourself because not much is given in this article. It is just trying to set the background. Second article is Quad Meet focuses on India-Pacific ties. And another important article is taking a bite out of cyber threats. And then we will discuss Quad Meet focuses on India-Pacific cooperation. We have discussed this topic SC to refer to job quota laws in other states. You can just read this. Chairman of SC panel on Char Dham project quits. Uniform Civil Code need of hour will continue to support India's rise and regional leadership, says US. Navy's Milan to bring together 46 countries. India, Australia edge closer to final interim deal. Iranian president skeptic about Vienna nuclear talks. So important topic for discussion. Quad meet focuses on India-Pacific ties. Will continue to support India's rise and regional leadership. Navy's Milan to bring out together 46 countries, taking a bite out of cyber threats. So there are two articles on different pages. First is this and another is this. So we'll discuss. So Quad meet focuses on India-Pacific ties. So the group of ministers held their fourth Quad ministerial meeting in Melbourne on Friday. So I've already told you the members of the Quad initiative, which are India, USA, Japan, Australia, and the exercise which Quad initiates, naval exercise is known as Malabar exercise, which started in the year 1992, and Australia for the first time participated in year 2021. Now, in this meeting, the joint statements were issued by the ministers. These are, we call on all countries to ensure that territory under their control is not used to launch terror attacks and to expeditiously bring to justice the perpetrators of such attacks. This is in the context of terrorists using Pakistani soil for the terror launch and in Afghanistan. And also US is also very firm on this because of the attack in 2001 that took place in USA. The other commitment is reaffirming a commitment to a free and Indo-Pacific region in which states strive to protect the interest of their people free from coercion. So I've told you what is Indo-Pacific. Indo-Pacific region is Indian Ocean region and Central Pacific Ocean region. This is Indo-Pacific region. Now the another statement, the joint statement called for return to democracy in Myanmar and also condemned North Korea's recent ballistic missile test. So in Myanmar last year, military coup took place and the military junta government took over the administration and the government. So the joint statement is also calling for return of democracy in Myanmar. And recently the North Korea tested its ballistic missile. So this joint statement also condemns that. Now, the joint statement issued included a renewed commitment to the flagship Quad vaccine initiative to deliver at least 1 billion vaccines produced at Hyderabad's biological facility, and the vaccine which they produce is known as Corbevax by the end of 2022 to Indo-Pacific countries. So you have to remember how many vaccines they are going to deliver and from which company will produce it and what is the name of the vaccine. Areas of cooperation which has been highlighted in the meeting. Number first, insurgency. Second, to address COVID infections. And third, concerns for a humanitarian situation that could arise from food shortage because of climate change and because of terrorist activities which disrupt the supply chain, such as in Afghanistan. And climate change, many countries are facing the threats of climate change. However, the China called this a deliberate move to stoke confrontation and undermine international solidarity and cooperation. China has been condemning this Quad initiative and other multilateral initiatives like AUKUS and Middle East cause that these initiatives are targeted against China and therefore it prevents solidarity among the nations and cooperations among the nations. So China has been very critical of these initiatives. So you have to remember Quad countries, Quad members, Malabar exercise, the vaccine which they are going to distribute, and the joint statement, a major understanding of the joint statement issued by them. And you do not have to remember the joint statement for a CLAT examination perspective. Now, the second article will continue to support India's rise and regional leadership. Now this says USA. So it is very important that USA is coming forward to strengthen its partnership with the USA. However, these things in international politics or foreign policy, the moves are always realistic and they are not on idealism. So countries look at their interests and accordingly they act, be it India, be it Pakistan, be it China, be it Australia. So now USA believes that India is very important in Indo-Pacific region, and Indo-Pacific region is the most important region in the world. Therefore, USA is also trying to strengthen its partnership in India with India because of India's huge presence and India's huge role in the global politics and specifically in the Indo-Pacific region. So the Biden administration announced its long-awaited Indo-Pacific strategy on Friday. The document focuses on building collective capacity to deal with challenges in the region. That is China's assertiveness, the pandemic, and the climate change others. So the document highlights China's assertiveness. China is being assertive on many occasions. China is in clashes with India in the LAC region. Then China is also having issues with Taiwan. China is also having issues with many South China Sea countries, Vietnam, Philippines. So why China is doing this, that China is trying to become a global power. So it is a fact that China is a global economy, but China is trying to show that it is a global economy. At the same time, China is also a powerful military. So China, through its aggressiveness, China is trying to show to the world that China is not only economically powerful, but China is also militarily powerful. So the strategy includes a focus on challenges from China, advancing the US relationship, a major defense partnership with India, and supporting its role as a net security provider in the region. So US knows the importance of India in the Indo-Pacific region. So US is trying to strengthen its relation with India, and US has already also signed many defense agreement with the India in past year, like Comcasa, like Beka, and like Lemoa. So these are the defense agreement that USA signed with the India, and India also knows that it is in this region. It is not possible for India to alone counter China, and USA also knows that without the help of India, USA will not be able to counter China. So both in a way complement each other, both in a way need help of each other. So therefore, the partnership is growing between India and USA. There is an emphasis on working with other countries, not just from region, but also from beyond. So USA is saying that we are not only looking to engage only countries which lie in the Indo-Pacific region, but they are also trying to engage with other countries which do not lie in Indo-Pacific region. USA says India's role in the Quad was an important element of USA-India relationship and a means to speak frankly about the issues in the region and to deliver together on public good. So this highlights that USA admits that India has a major role to play and India is an important partner for USA. The strategy document says that the US will continue to support India's rise and region leadership, working with India bilaterally and through groups on a range of issues. It refers to India as like-minded partner and driving force in the Quad. What like-minded partner here means, that both USA and India having similar ideology, like they both are democratic country, they both believe in human rights. So on this issue, and Quad is also the Quad member says a Quad member is not Quad initiative is not targeting India, but Quad initiative is a group of members which share similar ideology of human rights, of democracy, and that is why they came together to discuss various global level issues and to address them together. The overall increasing focus of the USA on the region is due to increasing challenges, especially from China, and according to strategy document. So US knows that China is growing its presence. China is becoming aggressive in the South China Sea and other region. So that is why US admits that it is very important to counter China, and US cannot alone counter China. So it is coming up with different initiatives to counter China and coordinating and cooperating with various countries. The PRC, People's Republic China, coercion and aggression spans the globe, but is most acute in the Indo-Pacific region. So PRC, the China is aggressive across the globe, but most acute in the Indo-Pacific region. From the economic coercion of Australia to the conflict along the line of actual control with India. to the growing pressure on Taiwan and bullying of neighbors in the East and South China Sea. So I've told you that China is becoming aggressive and China is engaging with different countries aggressively, like Taiwan, India, like Australia, because Australia condemned China for COVID-19 outbreak, and so China is also targeting Australia. So this is the behavior of China. That is why these countries are concerned, more specifically India and USA, sorry. The USA will seek an Indo-Pacific that is free and open, connected, prosperous, secure, and resilient. USA looking that Indo-Pacific region remains free and open. On the free aspect, one of the strategic actions outlined is investing in civil society, a free press and democratic institution. So USA is saying it wants to promote a free press and democratic institution in the Indo-Pacific region. On the topic of connections within and beyond the region, the US says it will work in a flexible groupings to tackle major issues, particularly through to advance its prosperity goal for the region. The US's strategy includes seeking higher labor and environmental standards. So in terms of property, what it's trying to highlight is that it is seeking for higher labor and environmental standard and helping to establish secure supply chains and investing in clean energy. So US on different fronts trying to address various issues along with the by coordinating and cooperating with countries on different platforms such as Quad, Middle East Cause, and AUKUS and other multilateral institutions. So US is having a prolonged approach and a broader approach towards Indo-Pacific region because of the importance of the US Indo-Pacific region for USA and the world. Now, another important topic is Navy's Milan to bring together 46 countries. So Navy's Milan to bring together 46 countries. The Navy is set to hold the 12th President's Fleet Review on February 21 at Visakhapatnam. So this exercise will happen in Visakhapatnam, and few days from that it will host the largest multilateral exercise in this region, that is Milan 2022, which will see participation of all major navies include Quad countries. So in this exercise, all four Quad countries are participating. At the same time, Russia is also participating, and from West Asia, countries from West Asia are also coming for participation amid tensions in Ukraine and development in West Asia. USA being invited for the first time. So you have to remember that 46 countries are invited in this exercise, and it is happening in the Visakhapatnam region. And then USA is being invited for the first time in this exercise. These are the three important points that you have to remember from your CLAT examination perspective. Now, exercise Milan is scheduled to hold from February 25 to March 4. This you have to remember, for which 46 countries have been invited, which I have already told you. Now, this is an important topic. This is for your understanding, and there is not much thing to remember from this. However, it will help you to build a background on cyber threats. So just listen this. Taking a bite out of cyber threat. So first you need to know what is cyber attack. Cyber attack is an attack via cyberspace targeting an enterprise's use of cyberspace for the purpose of disrupting, disabling, destroying, or maliciously controlling a computing environment infrastructure, or destroying the integrity of data, or stealing control information. So it tries to disrupt, disable, or destroy or maliciously control a computing environment or infrastructure without the permission of the owner, and tries to destroy the integrity of data or steal the control information. So this is cyber attack. So cyber attacks may be relatively new phenomena, but in a short time frame have come to be assessed as dangerous as terrorism. So cyber attack, though, is a not very old phenomena. It is a very new phenomena. However, it spread like a wildfire, and it is as dangerous as terrorism. So what is one thing with cyber terrorism is in cyber terrorism, there is no border. So it is a cross-border thing. So you do not have to go and attack any country directly. You can just sit at your home, at your place, and you can target any country's software. You can target anyone from any country. So it is a no boundary zone for cyber threat. However, these threats are more important in the current time because of the COVID pandemic. The individuals are working from home, and therefore they are more vulnerable for cyber threats. So this is also very important. And cyber threats are increasing during the COVID pandemic. Each succeeding year, despite an increase in cyber threat, witnessed no changes in the method of response. However, so it says that cyber threats are increasing every year, but no changes in the method of response. So in response, the response method remains same. The years 2020 and 2021 have proved to be extremely difficult from the perspective of cyber attack, but no changes in methodology have been seen. Estimates of the cost to the world in 2021 from cyber attack are still being computed. But if the cost of cyber crimes in 2020 believed to be more than 1 trillion in any guide, it is likely to range between 3 trillion dollar to $4 trillion. So you can see the impact of cyber crimes, that it can cost to the global economy by $3 trillion to $4 trillion. What is not disputed any longer is that soon, if not already, cybercrime damage costs would become more profitable than the global trade of all major illegal drugs combined. So it is this much disastrous that cyber crime only will disrupt this much economy, that the income generated, that the money generated out of illegal trading is less than the cyber crime. So cyber crime is going to be that big issue that the money generated will be huge. It can overtake illegal drug supply, illegal trafficking, and all. Cyber threat is likely to be among, if not the biggest concern for both companies and government across the globe. Cyber threat is not only for individual or company or government. It can target anyone. So it is a concern for both, for like individual also, for companies also, and for the governments across the globe. It is not restricted to only one or two countries. It is a phenomena across the world. It is not only the individuals who are trying to cyber attack, but there are reports that the government of different countries also initiates the cyber attack on different countries to disrupt their economy, to harm them. So cyber threat is not a conventional method of warfare. It is a new warfare method. In conventional method of warfare, there are economic trade, there is a military war, which involves hard fighting, which involves hard power. But cyber threat is not in conventional method of warfare. It is a modern phenomena of warfare in which you do not have to go and fight. Rather, you can just sit at your home and you can just disrupt the economy, the finances, everything of that country. A little publicized fact is that the vast majority of the cyber attacks are directed at small and medium-sized businesses, and it is likely that this trend will grow. So it says the vast majority of cyber attacks are targeting small and medium-sized businesses. So it's not like the cyber attacks are targeting only big institutions or government. They are targeting small and medium-sized businesses also, and it is likely that this trend will grow. Most targeted sectors in the coming period are likely to be healthcare, education, research, communication, and government. So every sector is vulnerable to cyber threat. Healthcare ransomware has been little publicized. However, healthcare ransomware is not much publicized, but the reality is that ransomware attacks have led to longer stays in hospital. Because of the cyber attack in hospital, it leads to longer stay in hospital. Apart from delays in procedures and tests, because of it, the procedures and tests also delayed, and resulting in increased patient mortality. So this is the effect of cyber threat, that it delays your results, your test reports. It makes you stay more in the hospital, and sometimes it leads to more mortality also. While preventive and reactive cybersecurity strategies are needed and are essential to mitigate cyber risk, they are proving to be highly elusive and in an increasingly hyper-connected world. So today the world is hyper-connected. But all the countries are connected together, each other. People from one country can connect to another country through the internet. So the world is hyper connected. In this globalized world, everyone is connected to everyone. Everyone is using cyberspace. So the threat is more because of the use of the internet, and the cyberspace becomes a space where cyber threats are more easily because of the global interconnection. So it says that preventive and reactive cyber strategies are needed, but the strategies are mere old strategies, but the cyber attacks are coming new and new. It also highlights that new attacks are taking place every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds, a new cyber attack is taking place. According to experts, a tendency seen more recently to put everything on the cloud could fire back. So this is because of the work from home, because of the more use of internet. So all the data is put on cloud, could backfire, causing many security holes, challenges, and misconfiguration and outages. Unfortunately, and despite the plethora of such evidence, cybersecurity expert appears to be floundering in ending proper solutions to the ever-widening cyber threat. So there is no proper response, there is no proper strategy, there is no strategy as such to deal with cyber threat. What strategies we have are very old, are not able to counter the new cyber threats. Technology geeks insisting on every enterprise incorporating. So you do not have to remember, or you can just remember the names of the technology to counter cyber threat. And these are SaaS, Secure Access Service Edge, to reduce the risk of cyber attacks. Additional solutions are being proposed such as CASB, which is Cloud Access Broker, and SWG, that Security Web Gate, aimed at limiting the risk to user from web-based threat. So these are the three technology or device or software that has been told by the security expert that these can help to reduce the impacts of cyber threat, or these can reduce the cyber threat. Constant references to the zero trust model and micro segmentation as a means to limit cyber attacks can again be self-limiting. Zero trust does not put the onus on strict identification verification, allowing only authorized and authenticate authenticated users to access data application. So these are the various methods to prevent cyber attacks. So you just know the name for exam perspective: SaaS, that is Secure Access Service Edge, and CASB, which is Cloud Access Security Broker, SWG, that is Secure Web Gate. You do not need to know how these different things work, and the other is zero trust model. So, but it is not certain how successful this and other applications will prove to be in the face of current wave of cyber threat. What is more problematic is that you come with a counter strategy, you come up with a plan that we will counter now the coming cyber threat. But the cyber attacks or cyber threats are evolving over day. They are becoming more and more sophisticated. They are one step more ahead than the government. So this becomes a major challenge for the government and for the organizations. So when it comes to deterrence in cyberspace, what is required is not a piece of grand strategy. So it says that we do not need a grand strategy for countering cyber threat. While low and medium risk targeted operation could be just as effective. So you do not have to go and just build a strong strategy that we need, or such a big grand strategy that we are going to counter the cyber threats by making an elaborate plan. However, it says that low and medium risk targeted operations could be just as effective. So on the strategic plane, it says understanding the nature of cyberspace is important. So it says that we need to understand the cyberspace, that how many people are connected, how much data they are producing, how they are using, do they have digital literacy or not, how they understand cyberspace, how they are able to protect their data from the cyber attack. So it is important that we need to understand the nature of cyberspace which we are using. So it says while solving the technical side is one part of solution, it says that technical part is only one part of the solution. Networks and data structure need at the same time to prioritize resilience through decentralized and dense network. It also says that technical side is one part of solution. Apart from that, network and data structure also need to prioritize to mitigate the impact of cyber attacks or to prevent cyber attack. Hybrid cloud structure, redundant application and backup process. So all this you need to understand. First, you need to understand cyberspace, what devices we have, what technology we have, then only we can come up with a solution. And the article says that we do not have to go for a very grand solution. Low and medium targeted operation could be just as effective to counter cyber attacks. The short answer is to prioritize building trust in system, whether it is an electrical grid, banks, or the like, and creating backup plans. So electricity, banks, transport are very important for any country. So if for one day there is no electricity, if for one day the whole transport communication system such as metro, flights, or whole banking system or health infrastructure is attacked by the cyber security provider, or if that is attacked by any individual through cyber attack, then it can disrupt the economy. One day is very big time to attack the economy and to disrupt the economy at a huge scale. So therefore we need to be ready with the backup plans, including strategic decisions about what should be online or digital, and what needs to stay analog. So this article highlights that in the current world, we are going for everything digital, that we need to do this digital, we need to do this. Everything is seen in the terms of digital. However, this highlights that digital is a one thing, but apart from that, we need to keep certain things analog also, so that we have a backup plan in case of any cyber attack. We can go back to that backup plan and we can continue and working, we can keep working so that the economy and the people are not affected. Failure to build resilience at both technical and human level, and also human understanding of cyber attacks, cyber threat is also important. We need to educate and aware our citizens or people of across the world about cyber attack, what needs to be done. People across the world know how to use internet, how to know mobile phone, but people do not know other things. As you can see, many frauds happen, phishing happens, ransomware taking place. People are not aware of all those issues. So we need to educate them. We need to make them aware of cyber threat. So, and we need to tell them what you can do in such cases if such and such thing happens to you. So failure to build resilience at both the technical and human level will mean that the cycle of cyber attacks and the distress they give rise to will continue to threaten the foundation of democratic society. Now, one important point here, you have to note that the Pegasus software was there in the news. So in one of the session, I will discuss on Pegasus software in detail, but through the Pegasus software, you can see that how government functionaries, how the courts, judges of Supreme Court and and the cabinet ministers are being targeted through the cyber attack. So this is the position, this is the situation where such functionaries can also be targeted through cyber attack. And these functionaries are very important functionaries for the working of the government, for the working of the government institution. So we need to prevent cyber attack. We need to mitigate the effect of cyber attack. Now it's time for G quiz. So first question is, where will the Milan naval exercise take place? Your options are Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Kolkata, and Kochi. And the correct option is Visakhapatnam. How many countries are invited for Milan exercise? So the question is asking invited, because it is not confirmed how many are coming. So you just need to know that how many countries are invited. Your options are 30, 36, 42, 46. And the correct answer is 46. Question 3. The joint statement included a renewed commitment to the flagship called vaccine initiative to deliver at least 1 billion COVID-19 vaccines by end of 2022 to Indo-Pacific countries. Which of the following vaccines will be distributed? So the Quad vaccine initiative is trying to procure and distribute vaccines to the Indo-Pacific countries. So which one of them is the vaccine that they are talking about? Our options are Covishield, Pfizer, Covaxin, and biological is Corbevax. The correct answer is biological is Corbevax. Which of the following is the naval exercise of Quad initiative? So we have discussed in last class also that which exercise is related to Quad initiative. The member countries of Quad also we have discussed, that is India, USA, Australia, and Japan. So your options are Malabar, Milan, Varun, Desert Night. And the correct option is Malabar. How many vaccines are planned to be distributed in the Indo-Pacific region by Quad initiative by end of 2022? Your options are less than 1 billion, more than 1 billion, more than 5 billion, none of the above. The correct option is more than 1 billion. More than 1 billion, sorry, you just need to correct that, it's more than 1 billion. So that's all for the news. Stay logical with Vidhigya, your best pal in CLAT Preps. Thank you.